This content is for educational purposes only. What you do with this information is at your own risk. Thank you for watching. Enjoy.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is another request video, and in this request is for any type of Nintendo DS emulation on the regular firmware of the Switch. So that's what we're going to be doing today. With that being said, let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, so I think we have two options of Nintendo DS emulation on the regular Switch, which is one is the RetroArch and the other one is with the Melon DS. Now, I like RetroArch more because you have more options. However, I went ahead and chose the Melon DS standalone version because that was the comment that was specific to it. If any of y'all are interested in RetroArch or in that option that I didn't choose, you can leave a comment down below and I can check that out whenever I have the chance. But today's option is just a standalone with Melon DS, and it's very simple to install. And now what we could do is download everything that we need for today. So this is what it's going to look like. You're going to have the Melon DS, you're going to have the firmware and BIOS, and then some ROMs, so that way we can test at the end of the video. Now, unfortunately, I cannot show you where to find and get these ROMs, but Google searching has gotten a lot better these days, and I hope you can get that sorted out. Now, another thing that I was not going to share with y'all, but I want all of us to be on the same page with running Melon DS, and I want you to have the same files as I do. So I'm going to try this. I'm not going to be showing the website or where to download it, but I'll leave a link in the description so that way you can click on it and then look for the link that is like this. And if I'm being too confusing, you can leave a comment down below and I'll try and help you out as best as I can. And then we need the Melon DS, which that I will show you. So if you click on the link in the description, it should say something like click here for the Melon DS. Once you click that, it'll take you to the release page for it. And we're going to always want to get the latest version, which the last one was for 2021. Once you have the latest, you're going to want to click on the link to start the download process and then have it move to the desktop like I have done already. I did have the other link in the description that I'm not talking about or explaining. I wanted to show y'all, but I'm trying to be as safe as possible. So it does work. It's just one link and then just scroll until you find the link that looks like this. So with that, we have everything that we need. All we need to do now is open up the SD card and transfer files. So it doesn't matter how you open up your SD card as long as you're able to transfer files successfully. I always like to use Hecate with the SD card tools. That seems to be the most reliable. However, in today's video, I'm going to be using the DB installer, so that way I can show y'all through Wi-Fi. That's what I'm going to be doing, and show y'all my Switch on screen. With that, let's go ahead and open up the SD card. Okay, so now that we have the SD card open, we can just move it to the side and have it ready for file transfer. Now what we could do is extract the files in order, starting with the Melon DS. So I always use 7-zip. This is actually in 7-zip format, so I would highly suggest using 7-zip for this video. If you don't know what that is, I'll leave a link in the description to download 7-zip, and then after you install it, you can follow along with me after. But with 7-zip, I'm going to right click over it and then find the 7-zip option and then open archive. Once the archive is open, we have just a single Switch folder that has the Melon DS inside of it, or all the directories. And all we need to do is extract it to the root of the SD card. But since through Wi-Fi, it doesn't let me extract it. I don't think so. Let me try. Yeah, I need permissions. So for me, I have to extract it to my desktop, and then I can extract it to the SD card. So once it gets transferred into the SD card, it should automatically go into the Switch folder. After that, after you extract it, then you can go into the Switch folder and locate the Melon DS and open it up. And here you're going to have the Melon DS in a row. And then now what we could do is close out this archive and open up the firmware and BIOS. Once you do that, you can right click and open with 7-zip as well. Here you're going to enter in the folder, so double click on this folder, and then you're going to want to extract just the BIOS 7, 9, and firmware. Those are the only three things that you need in order for this to run on the Switch. So the firmware, BIOS 9, and BIOS 7. After that, you can close out the archive and then drop those three files inside of here. Now the next thing is for the ROMs. You're gonna have to create a folder. You can either create it inside the Melon DS just to keep everything organized. You can put it as the root of your SD card. For me, I'm just gonna put it inside the Melon DS folder. It doesn't hurt anything. So I'm gonna create a new folder and I'm gonna just name it ROMs. And there we go. Now we can go ahead and extract everything. Extract it here. All 4 of them are already extracted, and then put them inside the ROMs folder. Okay, so once all the files have been transferred, it should look like this. Melon DS, firmware, BIOS, ROMs, everything is good to go. And now we can just go ahead and go to the switch, set up everything there, and let's get to that. All right, back here on the switch, and before we test out the Melon DS, I want to quickly remind y'all that in order for this to actually run as best as possible, you need to enter the HB menu without applet mode. So I just said this not too long ago, but you need to either have a folder into the HB menu, or you can do a title override. And if you don't know how to do a title override, you need to have a pre-installed game or title on your Switch, for example this one. And if it's already installed, you can just hold R, the R shoulder button, on your Joy-Con, the right Joy-Con, and just enter the game while holding R, and you'll enter the HB menu without applet mode. So what I'm talking about, those big red letters right behind my head, should be applet mode, and you cannot run the Melon DS in there. So there will be that. So that's how that works. But I have a folder. They're both do the same thing. I just like to use the folder. So with that, we can locate the Melon DS, and if everything goes well, you should be able to enter it with no problems. But if you do have any problems, any type of crashing, then most likely you need to update your CFW, update all those files that you need in order for it to run with CFW, and then that should be it. But let's go ahead and test it out. Okay, so this is what the Melon DS looks like at first boot. You have the browse option. This is where you're going to look for your ROMs. You have boot firmware, and this is where it boots into the actual DS OS. That way you can access things like that. And then we have emulation settings, display settings, input settings as well, and then exit. So I think in emulation settings, this is where you have to do the overclock. Now you have to overclock this in order for it to work on the regular Switch OS. So it has the option for the latest or the most that you can do, which is 1785, and you have to have it like this or else it won't work. But if you're worried about overclocking, I know there's lots of stigma around overclocking, but after research for myself, it seems like the overclock is just giving it regular clock from what Nintendo blocked or didn't allow the full potential. So that'd be up to you if you want to do the research first, but you should be okay using this type of overclocks for now. But like I said, always do your research and things like that. So I don't know what I can't see because my head's in the way. Oh, it's just console mode is DS. You can go through these settings, but I just wanted to do the overclock first. And then we go to the display settings. Here you can have limit frame rate. This is the rotation. You can actually have the Switch rotated 90 degrees, so you can use the full screen function. You'll have it full screen function up to down like this, which looks a whole lot better in my opinion. However, you're gonna have the controls sideways like this. You're gonna have to actually use some type of stand to have it upwards like this. Take off the controllers and play with it like that, which I don't think is a problem either, but that would be up to you. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to have the aspect ratio raised because it's at 4.3. I'm going to change it to the 16:9 so it can look as best as possible, having the top and the bottom. You could have the option to swap screens. You can have favor over one or the other and then press one of the analogs to switch screens back and forward. Now, I was going to do it that way, so that way you can have one screen bigger than the other, so that way it can look better. But as playing some games, it didn't work right because the game would have the top of the screen as a small one, and I couldn't jump up there. When it came time for me to use the top screen, I would have to switch quickly and I would die. So I'm just going to leave it as this layout. You can go ahead and mess with these if you like. And yeah, So I'm just gonna leave it like that, and that should be it. I did not mess with any of the input settings. If you want to do click mode, you gotta touch the screen. There's the touch screen options on the DS part of the emulation. But other than that, let's go ahead and try a game. So this is pretty much it. Everything should be working just fine here. And if you want to stay after, so that way you can see some of these games that I chose to play. I didn't know which one to choose. I know there's some fan favorites out there, but I am limited to those favorites because of the music and audio that's in them. So I usually choose games that nobody really cares about, just to show you that it's working. But I know people are interested in the better titles. But I did put some Mario ones, and if I have to, I will mute the audio just so that way you can see the gameplay. But we'll see how it goes. So if you want to access one of your ROMs, you're going to go to Browse, and then here you're going to want to look for the folder which I created in the Switch folder inside Melon DS. And then here in ROMs, we have the titles already ready. So with that, I'm going to just go one by one, give them some time as I play them, and that's pretty much it. So this is the end of the video. If you have any more questions, if you have game requests, I've been doing a game request series. If you actually want to see any other titles, if they are titles that are troublesome with audio, I will mute the audio and put some random background music. I'll try my best to play them as best as I can. So for sure we can see the visual, but you might not have any audio. So if you do any game requests, keep in mind that some of the games I will most likely not be able to play any audio with. So that being said, thank you for watching. I hope everything works for you, but of course if it doesn't, you can leave a comment down below and I'll try and help you out as best as I can. Other than that, thank you everybody that's been supportive to this channel. I really appreciate it. Everybody that's been doing game requests, I'm sorry, but I've been really backed up. I know there's so many game requests out there. I've been really stuck on these Windows games, which they've been terrible to run, but neither here or there. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Now that I'm playing a game, I just wanted to show y'all that if you push the right analog stick, you will give priority towards the other screen. So for games like this that are, you know, the top one is kind of not really useful, maybe. But if you push that, you can change it. Also, if you want to get out of the game, you would push the ZR and both ZRs, or ZL I mean, and then you'll get into the save state area. You can save state, you can close the lid. Once you click on close, you can change your ROM. So other than that, we can go ahead and continue. Whoa. That messed me up. No. You push the ZL, it speeds up the game. I'm sorry you had to see this. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I'm really bad at every game I play. Okay, so for games that use touch, you're gonna want to have the touch side of things. You're gonna use the right analog for the Joy-Cons. You're gonna hold down ZR to hold down click. I have stick drift, so kind of a little bit hard to move this. Of course, if you're not using the Joy-Cons, or if you're not using the dock, you can have the... You can use the touchscreen on your Switch. Oh man, I didn't want to get the fire. Launcher is always about this spread shot. I don't know if y'all can hear me, but oh man, I wanted to stay on my spread shot. Ah, really? No. Oh, yeah, the top and bottom confused me. I can't get the guy. Really? Last one like that? Oh, come on. Right at the end. Dang, I got second.